What's up, y'all? It's Lori the Bike Chick from Fitness and Adventure Sports on Highway 110 South. Marlin 8, 2 generations. What is different? Is it the dropper post? Is it the tires? Is it the suspension? All right. The main startling differences between the 2 generations of Marlins is definitely the dropper seat. That's huge. Another one is the tire size. So these on the newer generation, these are 2.4s. These are 2.3s on the Marlin 8. Also, if you can see, the thickness back here is thicker on the back stays, or at least it seems to be. So that way they're allowing a bigger tire to come through also. The frames, just the width of them, seem to be the same. And a huge, look at this little bitty stem. So they're putting smaller stems on the newer generation to get you more back in the bike. Another one is that the fork is more offset, where it's kicked out more, so it's gonna actually handle better on the downhill. I don't know if we can kick these straight. I may not be able to tell. It was hard to tell. But it is, the newer generation is supposed to be kicked out more. These are totally different sizes, so it is going to be harder to tell. 12 speeds. But the frames seem to be very similar, and even down into the bottom bracket area seems to be the same. Even though this is the exact same shock, this is different. So the actual frame is what changes. The shocks will stay the same, but the frame is what makes the bike kick out. This is the older generation, and this is the newer generation. And it's gonna be hard to tell. Even in regular person, I couldn't even tell. But you can tell just based on the description that they write, they say that it is more kicked out. This one on the older generation, you cannot add a dropper later. On the newer generation, it obviously comes. So if you were to buy a dropper, some of the droppers are anywhere from $200 to $300. And then this tire, the 2.40, is going to be hard to fit on the older generation.
Costing me about $70 an hour.
This one, you know what for production?
Yeah, you can definitely see the differences in the.
$50 an hour right here.
About $95.
Everyone's talking about dollars per hour. We just barely had a little bit of time to talk about this, so it's a lot of exciting stuff with these brands. We do sell a lot of Roscoe's, by the way, which does have a bigger tire and a wider rim. I'll show you that real fast. Wider tire. This wide tire cannot fit on any of the Marlins. And then this down here is your wider rim. You can't like really fit a smaller tire on this style bike. This is 2 more inches of smushiness on the front, and all of this stuff is a lot wider. Of course, dropper post, and it's already set up tubeless like from the get-go. And I think, let me ask them really quick. I'll ask. I think that these are still have a tube in them. Hey, on this Marlin 8, does it have a tube in it right now as we speak, or did they? So yeah, you still have to go ahead and change it. You still have to get your rim strips and your valve cores on here. Peace out, y'all. I think the Marlin 8 is a no-brainer. You're gonna have to go with the newest generation. That just makes no sense.